everybody, welcome back to the channel. In my last video I asked for some comments on what I should be doing before I start this tractor up. This tractor's been sitting for 2 years without starting. We've had some squirrels in and out of the garage. I've pretty much put mothballs everywhere I could on this tractor throughout that 2-year time span. I think it's worked. I haven't found any signs of any rodent damage or anything really, but I just wanted to go through some of the comments that you guys left and just do a check with you guys and make sure that you know, we all kind of know what to look for if we ever have our machines in storage for a long term. You know, it's kind of a rare occasion where we would park our tractors for a long time, right? But this happens to be the case on this one. So I'm going to take you through what to look for if you're going to start your machine after long-term storage. So stick with me. So one of the most popular things that was mentioned in the comments was to check the air filter. And I have already checked this air filter and there was no damage, but it's a real simple thing to check. You just pop the top off, you look inside, you can pull this air filter out. And this particular tractor has two air filters. It has the outer and the inner air filter, which is a little smaller. Now, because this has a metal screen on it, and as you can see it's not damaged at all, you can tell that no rodents have been in here, and there is no way for them to get past where this other little filter goes into to get into the engine. So I know nothing has been through there because it is well protected. So air filter is good. Okay, there's no way a rodent has gotten past this. But if a mouse or a squirrel or something were to be in here and start bringing nests in, it is still something you want to check, because you want to open it up, make sure that the air filter is clear of any kind of debris, any kind of shells of seeds or acorns or anything like that. And if it looks good, you should be good. So that's one thing to check. Another thing that was mentioned is to inspect all of the wires that you can possibly see, and all of the hoses and the fan belts, and make sure that everything looks like it's in order. So we're going to take a look in here and with the flashlight, and we're looking down and we're looking for any kind of sign where there might have been squirrels or mice or anywhere, and I'm not seeing anything, just a bunch of dust. And to have that dust in there is kind of nice, because you can almost see if something had been in there, it would disturb some of that dust in there. And I'm not seeing any kind of droppings or anything in the engine where any type of squirrel has been. Now, what I did to store this is I put mothballs in here. Okay, and the way that I did it is I took an old sock and I would fill it with mothballs, and then I would place the socks all over the engine compartment and over here where the battery area is and the air filter, and even where my dad put that nice modified Ooga horn. I just stuffed all those socks every place I could to make sure that any kind of rodents would stay away. Now, you don't want to just limit your inspection to the engine compartment. You also want to look inside the cab, or you know, if you don't have a cab, you want to look around the dash area and get a light and shine it up into places that are hard to see. And if you see any kind of disturbance where there's been seeds or anything up in there, or any kind of squirrel leavings, you know, you might want to look a little bit further. So a couple years ago, I had a squirrel up in this headliner, and there was a bunch of seeds, and they were kind of falling out of the air vents and everything. So I had to take down this entire headliner and just replace or not replace, but clean it all out, blow it out. And since then, you know, I mean, if you could smell this cab, it really stinks like mothballs, because I loaded it up pretty good to keep any kind of squirrels out of it, and it seemed to have worked. So hoping, you know, that nothing's been in there. There aren't any wires that are chewed on. There's nothing that's out of place. You know, no squirrels have been driving the tractor anywhere, so you gotta take the keys out so no squirrels take the tractor. But everything looks pretty good so far. So we'll keep looking. Another thing you want to do is check your hydraulic hoses and check underneath where the transmission and the hydraulic pump are, and just look around and make sure that Nothing's been up in there. You know, you can see back here, you know, a squirrel's been up there and has been having some lunch, and you can see where there's some seeds that he's left. But that's really the only thing. I'm not seeing any hoses. I'm not seeing any hoses that were chewed on. I'm not seeing any other damage than just a squirrel having a nice little lunch over there. So, yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty happy that this tractor looks like it should be squirrel damaged free. But yeah, you want to check all your hoses, every line that you can, especially, you know, if you got a backhoe and you got a bunch here. I can see I got maybe a loose fitting there that might need to be tightened up, but that's not a big deal. Checking all the hoses along the backhoe, everything and anything that you can see. Check out the whole thing. Now, I'm pretty sure squirrels have been out of here and they haven't messed with it. Another spot is, you know, you check that exhaust, but you know, that's the only way in, and they're not really getting past the muffler. So you give the muffler a tap. If you hear any seeds or anything rattling in there, that might be of a concern. But if you were to store a tractor for a long time and you knew that you'd be storing it for a long time, plug up your exhaust so squirrels can't get in there. Plug up your air intake so nothing can get inside of there. And, you know, it just keeps them out of the filter area, because as I showed you, you can't get past that filter. Well, maybe a really smart squirrel could. So, just a couple things to check for. Now I'm going to check the fluid levels. I want to check to make sure the oil's good, the hydrostatic fluid is good, and check the water fuel separator. So the first thing we're looking at here is the water fuel separator, and I'm going to take that panel off and get a good look at it, because I can't quite see exactly from here. So this panel is going to come off and we're going to take a better look at that. Alright, looking at this filter, it doesn't seem to be like there's any water in there, so that's a good thing. Alright, one thing that I just did is I loosened up this fuel filter, and I didn't do it on camera, but I loosened it up and I had a little bit of diesel drip out just to make sure that there wasn't any water in there and that there was diesel on top of that. There might be a little water underneath of it, but I don't think so. I think it's all diesel fuel in there. As you can see, if you look here, it's like a squirrel had lunch here too. So because I know he was there, I really looked in this area, looked at all the different tubes that are going in and out of there, and I'm not seeing any damage. Looks like he just wanted to sit up there and have some lunch. Looking over the rest of the engine, everything looks good. Wires, hoses, cables, they all look good. We're just gonna pull the dipstick out. Oh, and we can see we got plenty of oil, so that's right at the level it should be. It's pretty dirty, but it's a diesel. We're going to change that anyway. We got the oil cap here. We're going to pull that off and we'll take a look inside, and it seems to be pretty clean. So another good sign. So far so good. Get that on there secure. Looking at all of the other cables and wires, everything looks pretty good. So we're going to go to the back. We're going to check the hydrostatic level. So usually on the back of your tractor, if you have a hydrostatic transmission tractor, you're going to find hydrostatic oil dipstick, and we're going to pull that out. We're going to see how it looks, and this is going to be pretty clear, so it's going to be really hard to see on camera. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks to be about the right level. So we've got some oil in there, and that's a good thing. We're going to put that back in. And so far, so good. This tractor should be ready to start up. So that's the next step. We're going to start it up, and it should start, hopefully, if the battery's good, which it should be. It's been on the charger for long enough. And yeah, here we go. Wish me luck. no luck. I'm pretty sure the battery's shot. Seems to be that way. 2013, 2019 now, 6-year-old battery. It's been sitting in the cold, hasn't had a trickle charger on it, so I think we're replacing a battery today. Ah, shoot. Expensive money, dang it. Oh well. Lesson learned. Keep a battery tender or a trickle charger on your battery when you're keeping it in storage. So now we know. Alright, after $170 on a brand new battery, it should be ready to go. Fingers crossed. Alright, we're going to start it up. Hopefully, hoping for the best. I got to be really careful on the boom here on the backhoe so it clears the garage. Otherwise, if I had it all the way up in the lock position, I'd take out the garage header. We don't want to do that. Well, this is a sigh of relief. We've got the tractor going. Seems to be running just fine. Pretty happy about that. $662 hours on it. 2013. Hasn't been driven in quite a while. We're going to put it to work this summer. I got a lot of plans for it. We're going to go out to the land. We're going to clear some land. We're going to probably get a box blade for this thing and fix up some trails and some roads. What else do we have planned? A lot of playing in the dirt. I'm going to dig some holes, bring down some trees, take out some stumps. We're going to have a good time with this thing. Going to be put to good use. So it starts. Now it's time for a full service. Well, it's really a nice relief to have this tractor up and going again. After sitting for 2 years, started up, just needed a new battery. Everything's working like it should. So thanks for all your tips in the comments of what to do after long-term storage. I appreciate that, you guys. Thanks for helping out. I think we all learn together as a tractor community when we're all working together and talking about different things. And I'm always learning something on YouTube or Facebook, and it's a good thing that we've got such a good, tight-knit community. So appreciate all the efforts, guys. Thanks a lot. My next video is probably going to be how to service an L3940. So we're gonna change some oil, hydrostatic fluid. We got plenty of filters to change, and that should be one whole video right there. So stay tuned, keep on watching, give me a like. You know, it helps the YouTube algorithm get me a little more popular, and that always helps, and I appreciate it. So take care, everybody. God bless. Keep on tractoring.